You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
You can change the world. All you need to do is vote.
Parkland students are touring the nation state by state, and now they want to make a difference right here on the Suncoast. The immigration crisis continues at the borders, what the president is now suggesting regarding immigrants' deportation. And the search continues this morning for a pilot who landed on the beach in South Jersey. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Good morning, early risers. I'm Ray Collins. It is Tuesday, June 26th. Stephanie Webb is off this week. John Scalzi's in place, though, and boy, another day of heavy showers yesterday, John.
Indeed it was, Ray. We're looking at radar right now and not showing much in the way of any kind of rain showers around. In fact, it will be a very quiet start to the day. We'll have some showers building in the moist air that's producing the showers out in Gulf and Atlantic waters a little bit later on this afternoon. And in response to all the sunshine that we will get, our temperatures will rise. In fact, they'll be up near the 90 mark once again today. Rain chance at about 40%. Details coming up in just a few. Right?
All right, talk to you again soon, John. 5:01 right now. Here's a live shot from downtown Bradenton, Manatee Avenue West. Traffic flowing nicely so far. We'll check back on that shot throughout the morning there near Old Main Street. Checking the maps right now in Manatee County. Nothing much to report. So far, so good. No major problems whatsoever. Farther south now into the northern half of Sarasota County. We'll see, we just crossed over a little blip there on 41. I'm not sure if that was north or southbound. We'll check back on that in 15 minutes. And then our final map to the south, nothing to report so far at 5:01. That's your first alert traffic on this Tuesday morning. President Trump standing by his suggestion that immigrants crossing the border illegally should be denied due process. He says they should be sent back immediately without seeing a judge, though critics argue that is unconstitutional. ABC's Janae Norman is in Washington with more on the story.
President Trump stumping in South Carolina and taking on the American immigration system he previously called a mockery.
So if a person comes into our country, steps 1 foot, they take their name, they bring them to court, they then release them, they go into the country, you never see them again. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
One day after suggesting undocumented immigrants should be denied due process, tweeting, "We cannot allow all of these people to invade our country. When somebody comes in, we must immediately, with no judges or court cases, bring them back from where they came." In a fiery speech defending what critics have deemed as illegal and unconstitutional.
I don't want judges. I want ICE and Border Patrol agents. That's what I want. And we want to tell people, I'm sorry, you're coming into the country illegally. We don't want you in the country.
Does the president believe that undocumented immigrants have no due process rights whatsoever?
Thousands of illegal aliens are removed every month without seeing an immigration judge as a result of procedures in current law.
The crisis at the border reaching a fever pitch. Outrage over the sights and sounds of migrant children separated from their families, kept in cages. The president telling supporters he sees the uproar as a political advantage for Republicans. But a new poll shows his approval rating slipping to 41% from 45% the week before as the battle at the border continues.
It's a huge challenge operationally for our agents.
Customs and Border Protection tell ABC News in order to keep families together right now, agents are not referring parents or guardians who cross the border illegally to be prosecuted. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
It's been just over 4 months since the tragic shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School earlier this year in February that took the lives of 17 people. All summer long, some students of the high school are now touring the country pushing for stricter gun laws. Marla Spence has a preview of an event today happening on the Suncoast in Charlotte County. Marla?
Hey, Ray, students of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School are on a summer-long bus tour. The tour Road to Change started off in Chicago earlier this month, and now students and advocates are making their way to the Suncoast. Today, they'll be stopping in Charlotte County. Stoneman Douglas High School students and others a part of the March for Our Lives movement will be registering other teens and young adults in hopes of ending gun violence. The Road to Change Florida bus tour isn't only registering people to vote. Students and advocates plan to visit all 27 congressional districts in Florida up until August 1st.
We're trying to put their faith back in the government and say, hey, you can make this change, you can change the world. All you need to do is vote and have your voice heard.
Since the March for Our Lives in Washington, these students have worked tirelessly.
The group will be at the Lashley Park with a voter registration drive from noon to 2 today. After that, they'll be at a town hall meeting at the Punta Gorda United Congregational Church of Christ at 5:30 this afternoon. And tomorrow, the bus tour will stop in Sarasota at the Selby Library at 5:30. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, Marla. Some of the survivors of February's school shooting in Parkland spent Monday in Minneapolis. It's just one of the stops on their Road to Change tour, traveling across the nation Marla just talked about. They spent the day yesterday registering people to vote. The goal of the tour is to elect more lawmakers who support gun reform. One shooting survivor named David Hogg says it doesn't matter which side of the aisle those lawmakers sit on.
It's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about swinging things to morally just leaders.
These students are targeting cities where the NRA has made contributions to prominent politicians. After months, if not years, of discussions, the Bay Sarasota designers have a final master plan now to develop the bayfront around the Van Wezel. Plans for the 53 acres include an outdoor event lawn and amphitheater, possibly a floating stage, ferry and water taxi service, and improvements to the existing boat ramps at 10th Street. This plan also includes keeping the Van Wezel as is. The Sarasota Orchestra and the Van Wezel Foundation made a strong push last night in front of city commissioners for a new and improved performing arts center.
People couldn't imagine that we could come to a great solution that would make everybody happy, and hopefully everyone sees something in this master plan that they're excited about for the future of the community.
I think that the work up to this point has been really comprehensive, involving the community the way they have, engaging experts and looking into what we have there, what we want to have there. But then the reality is we've got to look at what we can finance.
Later this afternoon, there is another public meeting regarding this master plan, 1:30 p.m. at the Sarasota Municipal Auditorium in front of the Van Wezel. Bay Sarasota is hoping to have city commissioners approve this master plan on September the 6th. In just 7 weeks, students will head back to class, and Manatee County is in the process of hiring school guardians right now. The district says there was 250 applicants for the guardian positions. The district and sheriff's office have narrowed the pool down to 100. Now, drug tests and background checks and psychological testing has begun for about 20 of the finalists. Although the district only needs to hire 35 guardians, the deputy superintendent expects some candidates won't qualify.
The Guardian program is very well attended with quality applicants. We have a lot that have law enforcement background, a lot that have been retired, but some are also nearing their retirement, and so they're looking at maybe retiring early.
Guardian training starts in 2 weeks. The goal is to have all guardians hired and trained by the end of September. School starts in late August. The deputy superintendent says school resource officers will fill in any positions that the district still has open. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Wells Fargo back in the headlines again this morning. The charges they are facing for reportedly scamming some clients. Later in the hour, an act of kindness from a group of firefighters, how they're able to put smiles on some kids' faces. 5:08 right now. Here's a live shot of downtown Atlanta. Pretty shot there. There's the Ferris wheel in the foreground. John, it looked like a nice day, and suddenly a sharp turn toward rain. What's on the forecast today?
Yeah, yesterday the rain showers came in the evening pretty much on time, and I think the same sort of situation again today, although I think the coverage might be just a little bit less. I've checked the rain box, not for any kind of problems for this morning, but for later on today on the drive home. Out the door today, we're looking at warm and muggy conditions in the upper 70s, but on the way home, a few thunderstorms. Forecast shows that the FAA is saying all airport hubs are serving Sarasota, Bradenton, not having an issue running on time. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in a few.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids. Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
Me, pick me. Oh, come on, man. Oh, man, I love technology. Hey, yo, check out my new phone. Look at this right here. For years, the DeSoto Club has needed improvements. Join me and Boys and Girls Club of Manatee County as we raise money to build a brand new facility. It will be bigger and better, just like it was 40 years ago when I attended. Invest in kids, build great futures.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Current air temperature coming in at 75 degrees. We have a dew point value coming in at 74, 96% relative humidity currently. As we head through the afternoon, I think we're going to see that dew point value maybe spike up just a little bit as we develop a sea breeze in the afternoon. Forecast for today calls for about a 40% chance of showers. We'll start off the morning dry, so the morning compute should not have an issue. But as we head into the afternoon, about a 40% chance of rainfall by 3 p.m. Yesterday, we had about a 50% chance, and we got it. Now, today, I think we'll probably have slightly lesser rain chances. We'll explain why in a minute. We'll go down to about 30% by 7 p.m. Forecast for the upcoming afternoon will feature showers building in inland counties, and those showers gradually drifting back toward the coastline. We'll watch that occur as we head into 3, 4 o'clock, and then about 5 or 6 o'clock, the showers will reach the coastline. Probably get a little bit of an explosion of showers as well. Now, they'll be slow movers, I think, particularly in inland areas. Our wind speeds today will be reduced from where they were yesterday, so slightly slower storm motion means a little bit more rainfall. You could certainly see some ponding of water on roadways on some of the inland arteries. Lots of sunshine coming your way today, though. The amount of cloud cover and debris cloud that we had yesterday has kind of now been pushed out into the Gulf waters. So we'll start dawn with a fair amount of sunshine. Futurecast shows those showers building in inland areas, but not until the afternoon. We start off the morning pretty quiet, and I think even by lunchtime it's pretty quiet, though we start to see the hint of a sea breeze begin to form. Showers become more numerous. There'll be slow movers, really not moving all that fast, producing some fairly heavy rainfall, but then the outflow from some of those storms will produce showers right along the immediate coastline as we head into the evening. Then those showers get pushed further back out into, hey Ray, how you doing there? High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us, will produce, generally speaking, a westerly wind flow. But tomorrow, we'll watch that high pressure ridge sink a little bit further to the south, the wind field lighten up a little bit, and we'll see a sea breeze push a little further inland. Sunny and warm today, building afternoon showers and west-moving storms. That'll be the name of the game. That pattern in place, just like it was yesterday, again this afternoon. Then, as we head into the weekend, and maybe not even have to wait for the weekend, Thursday or Friday perhaps, we'll start to see a reversal of these winds, and instead of an easterly wind, we'll have more of a westerly wind, pushing the showers back toward the other coast. So perhaps some slightly drier afternoons as we head into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. A southwest wind comes in at about 5 knots. We'll look for a light chop, 2-foot seas, and the forecast calls for about 92 for a daytime high today, and over the next several days we'll keep it near the 90 mark. Again, by about Thursday or Friday, we'll see a wind reversal, which will lower our rain chances a little bit as we push the storms toward the other coast. Rain chances will go back up again as we head into the weekend. Right?
All right, thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. There's the scene in Manatee County. A couple issues there. 39th Street, a lane blocked at 38th Avenue. Be aware of that in case you live in that area near Elwood Park. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Farther south now, the northern half of Sarasota County. Some activity there along the bayfront where the 41-301 intersection is. Nothing major right now. And then checking our final maps to the south, that indicates nothing much. A little blip there at the very base of your screen down there by the Northport and Port Charlotte, the county lines, but nothing much right now at 516. The search is underway for a pilot who landed a small plane near a Coast Guard base in New Jersey. As reporter Alicia Neves tells us, it happened on a restricted beach in Cape May on Sunday night.
The search is on for the pilot of this plane. Last night around 7 o'clock, the plane was captured on cell phone video flying erratically near Wildwood. Samantha Hawes took this video in front of her home.
My heart was pounding out of my chest. I really thought that he was going to crash into one of the houses, and everyone was almost like ducking because they're like, where is this plane going to go? Because how fast the plane was going and how quick it was going. It was doing like O's and S's and straight up in the air, straight down.
Shortly after Hawes' video was taken, right around 8 p.m., the erratically flying plane was spotted again near the U.S. Coast Guard base in Cape May. An eyewitness saw the plane illegally land on a secured Coast Guard beach and called the Coast Guard immediately.
The Coast Guard responded by sending out Coast Guard Police Department and the Coast Guard Fire Department, initially thinking that it was a crash.
But this is what Coast Guard officials found when they arrived. The plane was fine. The pilot, though, had vanished.
Eyewitnesses said that the pilot seen running off after he had landed the plane on the beach.
The plane is owned by Paramount Air Services. We spoke to the company's owner, who believes the plane was taken last night by one of the company's employees, an employee who is also related to the owner. The owner explained she and the company did not authorize this wild flight.
It really caused a stir up, and I really just hope that he understands what he caused and what he did and how many lives he could have put at risk at that.
So Cape May City Police are working with the Coast Guard to track down the pilot. Right now he is facing several charges at the state level and maybe even federal charges as well. Well, this might sound familiar. Wells Fargo again facing accusations of reportedly scamming clients. This time the Security and Exchange Commission says the bank took advantage of its brokerage clients holding market-linked investments. That's a type of bond meant to be held until maturity. But officials say the bank improperly pushed clients to sell early so it could rack up extra fees. Wells Fargo could now face a $4 million fine, plus returning all the profits from that category. Former President George H.W. Bush visited with former President Bill Clinton on Monday, but they were not the stars of the show. Look at this. Bush's new service dog was the star of the event. Sully is a yellow Labrador retriever given to the president by the nonprofit America's Vet Dogs. Sully already knows how to answer the phone and fetch items. allegedly. He was named after the airline pilot who landed a damaged plane on the Hudson 9 years ago, Chesley Sullenberger. Now, Sully's social media fame will likely take off as his Instagram page launched Monday with its first picture. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, how Facebook was able to turn $1 billion investment to $100 billion in less than a decade. That story is on the way in Tech Bites. And at 5:30, the Kilauea volcano continues to affect hundreds of homes.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night, or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night, and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think it up.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
Welcome back. Pretty shot there, well lit this morning, of the Rosemary District looking off toward downtown Sarasota. Should be a lot like yesterday weather-wise. John says not quite as much rain coverage, a high of 92, but showers in the afternoon as we head toward that typical summer rainy pattern. Firefighters often risk their lives to help others. On Sunday, a group of North Carolina firefighters had a stress-free call. They stopped by a house in Charlotte where they saw a family struggling to fill a kiddie swimming pool for a birthday party. The crew provided the water on the sweltering day. According to a statement from the department, what was just a simple task for us turned into laughter, smiles, and a lifelong memory for neighborhood kids. Talk about building goodwill. Well, it appears Facebook's smartest decision was buying Instagram. In just 6 years, the estimated worth of the photo-sharing site has jumped 100%. Yeah, it's a good investment. The story in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, what's Instagram worth?
A new estimate puts the number at $100 billion. Facebook bought Instagram in 2012 for just
$1 billion. The social media site just surpassed 1 billion users. Samsung could be working on a surprise.
It's expected the company will release 2 new phones at January's Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. But now reports say a 3rd phone will be unveiled, and this one will reportedly have 3 cameras. And iPads have now become a pain in the neck, literally.
A new study finds nearly 85% of tablet users suffer from what's being called iPad neck or tablet neck. That's pain, soreness, or stiffness from slumping over the screens. About 65% of users feel it in the shoulder and the back area. It affects women more than men. Those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Geico.
Find the remote yet?
Nah. Oh, honey, look, your old portable CD player.
Oh, wow.
Hey, my high school retainer.
Oh, don't.
What?
It's early 90s sitcom star Dave Coulier.
Cut it out! What year is it?
As long as stuff gets lost in the couch, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Dude, you're crunching and scaring the fish.
Dude, they're just jealous.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran Crunch with crunchy clusters and the taste of apples and strawberries.
I got one!
Guess we're having cereal for dinner.
Deliciously heart-healthy Kellogg's Raisin Bran Crunch.
How did we test our Dixie Ultra plates? With 2 pounds of steak in each hand. Dixie Ultra. Stress tested so you can stress less at dinner.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. So wet.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
This was the first time I really felt like we were in danger.
Dangerous wildfires forcing thousands out of their homes across 9 states, hundreds of acres burned in California alone. Back here on the Suncoast, Parkland survivors will be in Charlotte County today with a strong message for voters. And also happening today, Cat Depot reopens its doors in Sarasota. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast. Welcome back. Tuesday, June 26th. I'm Ray Collins. Stephanie Webb is off today. Let's get to the forecast. Here's John Scalzi with details of more rain in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think we will see more rain. Like yesterday, the pattern's about the same. They'll build in inland areas and then drift back to the coast. Only I don't think we'll see as many of the showers around this afternoon. So a little bit of a change in terms of the rainfall percentage today. From 50%, we'll take it down to 30 or 40%. Right now, quiet on radar. Your morning commute should be A-OK. I don't see anything here that gives you any weather worries. We have some showers out in Gulf waters, smattering of showers, light stuff, nothing really heavy. A lot of sunshine in store for you, too, this morning. Our radar, our satellite rather, shows a few scattered areas of cloud banks and Gulf waters, but that's it. Nothing really over land. Our daytime high today tops out again warm, coming in around 92 degrees. We hit 91 yesterday. I think we'll probably do about the same again today. And then our rain chances up to about 40%, starting at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon in inland areas, then drifting back to the coast through the evening rush hour. Back to you.
All right, talk to you again soon. Thank you, John. Let's check the live camera. There's the scene as we speak at Manatee Avenue West and Old Main Street. Pretty spot there between the administration building and the old courthouse, downtown Bradenton. Lovely spot. And that's our live camera right now in that core of the downtown area. Let's go to the maps right now. Checking first alert traffic, still an ongoing issue. 39th Street, a lane blocked at 38th Avenue. Be aware of that. Otherwise pretty clear in Manatee County. The northern half of Sarasota reveals some slowdowns there on 41 southbound as you travel from Bay Vista toward Weber and Siesta Drive. Otherwise not too much so far today. And our final map to the south indicates nothing in the red. We'll check back in 15 minutes here on Good Morning Suncoast. Some students are making their rounds nationwide in the wake of the shooting at their school earlier this year in Broward County. Their tour is making 2 stops on the Suncoast, including today in Charlotte County. Marla Spence tells us what they hope to accomplish with this national tour. Marla?
Good morning, Ray. All summer long, students of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School are on a bus tour. Their tour is in hopes of advocating stricter gun laws and getting voters to elect more lawmakers who support gun reform. The tour Road to Change started off in Chicago earlier this month, and now students and advocates are making their way to the Suncoast. Today, they'll be in Charlotte County. Stoneman Douglas High School students and others a part of the March for Our Lives movement will be registering other teens and young adults to vote. Students and advocates also plan to visit all 27 congressional districts in Florida up until August 1st. And parents of victims are also going along for the ride. Manny Oliver's son, Joaquin, was killed in the Valentine's Day massacre. He's riding along in honor of his son during the summer-long tour.
I see my son through them. My son is right on that bus with them, and it's gonna be that way forever. I mean, this is what makes me be a father still, and feeling that there's a reason for me to still be a father and to still support someone.
Today, the group will be at the Lashley Park with a voter registration drive from noon to 2. After that, they'll be at a town hall meeting at the Punta Gorda United Congregational Church of Christ at 5:30 this afternoon. And that's not all. Tomorrow, the bus tour will stop in Sarasota at the Selby Library at 5:30. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Marla. The volcano eruption in Hawaii has now destroyed about 650 homes. The lava continues to flow into the ocean. We now know nearly 6,000 acres are covered in lava. 2 days ago, the U.S. Geological Survey reported over 300 earthquakes near the volcano summit. North Korea is expected to release hundreds of sets of soldiers' remains from the Korean War, and they're expected to be flown to Joint Base Pearl Harbor-Hickam, which is in Hawaii. There, they'll undergo forensic and DNA testing. That'll help determine whether the remains belong to an American service member or those who fought alongside the U.S. North Korea has returned U.S. service members' remains in the past, but it's been over 10 years since a transfer happened at this level. Raging wildfires are sending thousands fleeing from their homes across the West. The Pawnee Fire in Northern California has burned 8,200 acres since exploding over the weekend. It's destroyed 22 homes in Northern California. ABC's Natalie Brunel has the latest from Los Angeles.
The Pawnee Fire raging out of control, devouring bone-dry brush in Lake County, California, gutting more than 20 structures, threatening at least 600 more.
We've been through this 4 times, and this was the first time I really felt like we were in danger.
More than 250 firefighters attacking the blaze from the air and dousing flames on the ground, evacuated residents in distress.
It's been very difficult 24 hours not to know if your animals are okay, or your house is okay, or your neighbors are okay.
The massive Pawnee Fire, one of several infernos igniting in California. In Oregon, the Boxcar Fire scorching an area twice the size of Washington, D.C., and across the nation, more than 50 large fires now raging. The long summer days posing a greater challenge.
There's a lot of heating and a lot of light exposure on these fuels, which only increases the fire behavior.
As hundreds wait to return home, this early fire season activity sparking a terrifying reminder of the deadly 2017 wildfires in California that destroyed thousands of homes and claimed more than 40 lives.
A red flag warning and wind advisory were issued today for parts of Northern California, which could mean wind gusts of up to 40 miles per hour. Governor Jerry Brown has issued a state of emergency. Natalie Brunel, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Manatee County's public safety officials are working with Apple to help pinpoint 911 callers even faster. It works using a new technology called Rapid SOS that's connected to all iPhones with the latest iOS software update. According to the company that developed it, many 911 communication centers have outdated infrastructures that can delay information or even give dispatchers inaccurate or unreliable locations. This new technology is free for any public safety department. As the 4th of July holiday approaches, law enforcement is looking for impaired drivers both on land and in the water. Boaters will notice an increase in the numbers of officers on the water from Friday through Sunday as part of Operation Dry Water. Driving a boat with a blood alcohol level of 0.08% is illegal in Florida. Now that percentage is the equivalent of one beer, a glass of wine, or 1 shot of liquor. It may not feel like it, but gas prices are actually going down. According to AAA, Florida gas prices went down for the 30th straight day yesterday, 20 cents since Memorial Day. The average cost for a gallon of gas in the state is now $2.70. The prices are still 50 cents higher than a year ago, and gas will be the highest for July 4th in quite a while now, 3 years.
It's about 20 cents per gallon lower than it was for Memorial Day weekend. May see a slight uptick over the next week or so, and then we can expect more of a long-term decline in gasoline prices.
Florida's most expensive gas is in Miami and West Palm Beach. The cheapest, Tampa Bay and Orlando, with an average cost of $2.60. An update now on the new parking garage construction site on St. Armand's Circle. The city broke ground last month on the $15 million garage, and this is what the former parking lot looks like now. Workers are in the early stages of building a 4-level garage on this land behind the Columbia restaurant. It'll add hundreds of spaces to this busy shopping area, which comes as a relief to both shoppers and those who work on St. Armand's Circle. We talked to a man named Bronson Langston yesterday, who works for a clothing store on the Circle. He says he's looking forward to the additional parking.
I think it's a great idea because we need more parking in the area.
Is it a hassle to park and work in this area?
Yes, it is.
The garage should be done by December. Parking in the garage will be 50 cents an hour. The city is also adding parking meters to the rest of the Circle. Prime spots around the Circle will cost you $1.50 per hour. Manatee County government is looking to fill some open seats on the Tourist Development Council. The TDC makes recommendations to the County Commission on how tourist tax revenues should be spent. The county is looking for one member who is a general manager of a motel, hotel, or other tourist attraction, and another 2 seats are available for applicants who are involved in the tourism industry. After a week of being shut down, Cat Depot will reopen today at 11 a.m. The Animal Shelter's Adoption Center was closed for a week while it investigated a disease found in 2 kittens. The cats that were brought into the shelter tested positive for a contagious viral infection. The facility is on 17th Street in Sarasota. More than 500,000 Floridians are affected by Alzheimer's disease, and June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, which brings attention to the many services available to those dealing with this disease. The Alzheimer's Association is an information and referral intake organization that can help provide you with the steps necessary to take. Some signs people may show up if they have dementia are forgetfulness or a change in personality. They say if you see these signs, it's important to get help as soon as possible.
We're an aging population, and the more we age, we are seeing higher numbers. So those numbers every year are increasing.
Although there is no cure for dementia, some rehab centers in the area use therapies that keep people active and close to their normal routine. This could be gardening, listening to music, or cooking. Still ahead, if you aren't taking any summer vacation this year, you aren't the only one. Why many Americans are skipping the summer fun this year round. Now here's a live look way up in space. Here's our satellite view. You can see that John Scalzi always gets the best parking spot outside of our station there. Nice day on tap, but some rain in the afternoon, John.
That's always such a beautiful shot. I love that. Yep, we'll get a few showers around, no doubt about it. This is the latest red tide report from Moat Marine Laboratory showing a westerly wind this afternoon, pushing toxins closer to the coastline. But it seems like the amount of irritant in the air has been pushed a little further to the south near Gasparilla, with the areas further to the north now showing moderate to low concentrations from Lido southward. So I think it's kind of the best bet if you're looking for a beach that hasn't shown much in the way of those irritants to head further into the northern beaches of the Suncoast. 89, our forecast high near the coastline today. UV index high at a 12. Complete forecast details coming up in a few.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffy Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
We have a 75-degree air temperature and a dew point of 74, so pretty close together. Humidity is high, coming in at 96%, and we have still an east wind at about 6. Now, that east wind will be relatively consistent throughout the day, east or southeast, and that will collide with our sea breeze front in inland communities, producing showers and thunderstorms that'll drift back slowly to the coastline. Put the rain chance today, maximum out at about 40% by 3 p.m. By noon, maybe a 20% chance of a shower. That would be mostly in inland areas. And then as we head into the 3 to 7 o'clock period, those inland showers kind of drift back toward the coastline with about a 30% chance by around 7 p.m. this evening. So you look at Titan radar right now and things are pretty quiet. There's just not a whole lot of action going on. But I think as we head into noon, you'll start to see a few of them begin to build in inland areas. Light stuff for the most part to start. But as we head into the later part of the afternoon, those storms will build into thunderstorms, and we'll see a few of them make their way toward our coastline once again. So the forecast calls for some pretty quiet weather through your entire drive time this morning. All major arteries are rain-free. We have plenty of sunshine in store for us as dawn breaks on the Suncoast. You'll notice the sun and a deep blue sky. You'll notice the sun starting to heat things up pretty quickly. We'll go from temperatures in the 70s to temperatures in the low 80s in the space of just a couple of hours. And then as we get closer to the noontime hour, we'll see temperatures in the upper 80s starting to fire off a sea breeze, which will start fairly early. The sea breeze will get rid of those land breeze showers and start to kick off the inland storms as we get an east coast wind that collides with the sea breeze. Eventually, those showers drift back toward the coastline and bring us a good chance of some thunderstorm activity in inland. But they will be slower moving storms today, and I think you might see a fair amount of rainfall under some of those storms, particularly in inland areas. Develop a kind of a trough along that sea breeze front, along the spine of the state, which will help to encourage these showers. But the outflow will push some of those storms back to the coast toward around 5, 6, 7 o'clock. You'll see them building right along the immediate coastline there. High pressure stays with us today. Tomorrow we start to see a little bit of a change. High pressure will start to sink south. Wind fields will become lighter. And we'll begin that transition into, instead of an easterly wind, we'll start to see more of a westerly wind along the top of that high pressure ridge eventually. So, sunny and warm, building afternoon showers, west moving storms again today. We'll have that west wind developing in the afternoon close to the coast with a sea breeze coming in at about 5 knots. And the forecast looks like this. Today, tomorrow, the next day, we'll look at temperatures that'll be generally in the 90s. The difference being tomorrow, the winds go a little bit lighter, the sea breeze moves a bit further inland, our rain chances go down just a little bit. As we get into the weekend, we'll see the rain chances go back up to about 50%, right?
Thank you, John. Checking First Alert traffic right now. There's the scene, still an ongoing issue at 39th Street, lane blocked at 38th Avenue for those of you who live or are going to that particular area around Elwood Park. Otherwise, not much to speak of right now in Manatee County. Checking the northern half of Sarasota County. Nothing in the red right now. Some congestion there around the Bayfront, 41-301. Nothing major so far. And then our final map to the south indicates all clear at 5:48 on your Tuesday morning. A new survey found a higher number of people are skipping vacations like this year. Bankrate.com finds nearly 1 in 4 Americans won't go on vacation this summer because they can't afford it. In today's Consumer Watch, Mary Maloney takes a closer look at how you can still travel without busting your budget.
Forget relaxing at the beach or exploring Europe this summer. According to Bankrate.com, about half of Americans surveyed don't plan to take a vacation this summer. The number one reason? 1 out of 4 respondents say they can't afford it. The other top reasons for skipping vacay: too many family obligations and being too busy at work to take time off. Surprisingly, the survey found that even when they have paid time off, Americans are reluctant to miss work. Only 36% of respondents who get paid vacation days plan to use all of them. And about 13% of workers with paid time off don't intend to use any vacation days. Those who are going on vacation plan to spend up to $2,000. If you still want to book that summer getaway, the best way to save some cash is to not wait.
The best time to book your deals is right now. In fact, you're going to find discounts up to 29% on hotels and airfare.
Experts also recommend you hit the road instead of flying to your destination.
A lot of people are planning to stay a little closer to home this year. Instead of spending money on airfare, they want to spend an extra hour or two in their car.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
We had the coach saying, "Get out of the water."
I just heard him yell, "Get in the tub, get in the tub."
Go, we need to go right now.
I mean, this literally could be the start of a nuclear war.
This is not a drill.
That is part of the trailer released today for a new documentary in the works on Hawaii's false missile alert last January. It's called This Is Not a Drill, 38 minutes that changed our lives. The executive producer, Rob Feldman, is hoping to finish the film by the fall and says he'll try to get it to the film festival circuit after that. Other entertainment news, get ready. Here comes the Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, that's the title. The latest effort from Marvel Studios held its world premiere Monday. Among the stars, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, Lawrence Fishburne, and Paul Rudd.
I just want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting this. I hope they like the movie. I hope they brought sunscreen. I hope they brought plenty of water because you've got to hydrate. It's about 90 degrees out there. But as far as not getting used to it, I don't. This is an incredible thing. We've worked on it for so long, and now that we're finally here, I'm nothing but appreciative and excited.
The film is rated PG-13 and is scheduled to open nationwide on July 6th. 5:51 right now. We leave you this block with a shot of downtown Atlanta as dawn is breaking there. Can't help but look at that Ferris wheel, though. 5:51. We'll update the day's top local news headlines next on Good Morning Suncoast.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with a family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Thank you.
What are you doing? You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit helpsavethenextgirl.com and get involved.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
Your child's classmate.
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Nice shot outside of our studios as you awaken on this Tuesday morning. That's the Rosemary District looking toward the southeast. 5:54 right now. Let's check some of the headlines making news this morning. We're learning more about that fatal lightning strike on Sunday on Siesta Key Beach. The bolt killed this man, 33-year-old James Barton of Seffner, which is near Tampa. He was standing on the beach in the 6,000 block of Midnight Pass, which is just south of the Sarasota Surf and Racquet Club. Another chance today to see the master plan for the Bay project. You can inspect the 53 acres of designs at 1:30 p.m. today at the auditorium in front of the Van Wezel. Final plans will be submitted to the City Commission in September. Some students from Stoneman Douglas High School are on a national tour to push for tighter gun laws and more voter registration. They'll be in Punta Gorda today and downtown Sarasota tomorrow. Next hour, new this morning, Harley-Davidson says it's going to make more of its motorcycles overseas. And Apple users, listen up, Apple is now offering free fixes to MacBook owners having issues with their keyboards. And Gray Television and our Raycom Media has announced a merger that would create the third largest TV broadcast group in the country. More on that next hour, but first, let's get to the forecast one last time this hour from John Scalzi.
Yep, I think the takeaways for today are similar to yesterday. Warm, sunny afternoon. We'll watch the sea breeze build, keeping the coast a bit cooler. Showers will build into inland areas late in the afternoon, and then those inland storms will slowly drift back toward the coastline. They'll be west movers. The only difference between today and yesterday, probably a few less storms around, so the coverage will not be quite as great. We have the complete forecast coming up in a few. Back to you, Ray.
All right, talk to us, and also next hour more on a new airline flight that goes between Sarasota and a major U.S. city. Details of that and much more news next hour right here on Good Morning Suncoast.